Who's JB JB Blaze is gonna get rich into again in this. This is what Blaze calls. He gives the atheist entertainment.
What is up, you heathens and demons, sinners and saints, beautiful, blasphemous bastards? Welcome back to the Raging Atheist. I see Jay's most recent comment, and don't worry, Jay. I will cover the exonerating evidence, but just so spoiler alert, just so you can know now, in case you're not around for the whole stream. I'm assuming you probably have work tonight or something. There is no exonerating evidence, none. It's just something Smokey says. That's it. That's all. The exonerating evidence that Praise had, he actually brought it into the Satori stream, and he talked about how Satori's parents supposedly, quote unquote, according to Smokey, condoned the relationship. That's not exonerating evidence. And it's not true because Satori said it wasn't true. How are y'all doing? This is going to be great. Jay covered this last night. This happened last night while I was sleeping. I went to bed early last night. And Jay covered this, and it was still going on this morning, so I got to see some of Jay's commentary. I've been checking out some of Jay's commentary. Jay is spot on. Y'all, I mean, I would say just don't take my word for it. Go check out Jay's stream because Jay makes a lot of really good points here. But before I get into everything, there's something really important that I need to talk about. And I'm going to share my screen. Our good friend Marty needs some help. And she needs some help before the end of the month, y'all. She needs to pay off her car before she moves. Any help that you guys can give her, I got the link in the description. I also just pinned the link in the side chat at the top of the side chat. Any help to our friend Marty. Marty has been with me since I started streaming. She's always been more than willing to come in, give her input. As a pagan, never hold any of the things that I say against me. Loves me for who I am. I consider her a real life friend, and if anybody can help her out, I humbly beg you to please go and help Marty out. Like I said, that link is in the description as well. I pinned it in the side chat. How y'all doing? This is going to be interesting. I think this is going to be interesting. Like I said, Jay Pasick had a stream. Jay Pasick is in the side chat. How you doing? Ox is here. Alex is here. B.O.B. is here. I see B.O.B. and I think about the rapper who's the flat earther. I'm sure you're not a flat earther. See who else is here. I know I saw Kent Hovind CPA, Marty, KJV, AV1611TR. I do believe I can't remember your name. I think that I met you on Brett Keen's stream.
No, you did.
If you're the same person. Wild Eden's here. How you doing, Wild Eden? Haven't seen you in a while. Ivan Van Veen, Monkey for Banana, Swifter, Tentaise.
Wild Eden.
Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Anybody that's going to catch.
Wild Eden's going to tell you about all her ailments. Oh, don't let her in.
Catch it as we go through this. Anybody that's going to watch on the playback. I've had a revelation this morning. I realized because, I was feeling some kind of way. Will Kincaid and Smokey kind of blindsided me with a Smokey appearance. I got the first one. I'm still not sure if Smokey's back. He still says, yay, nay, maybe, who knows. This, what the fuck did I just do? I just accidentally fucked something up. I hate that. All right, so let's just go back to where I was, right? No, stop it. What the fuck what did I just do? All right, so now I got to find that because that was what I've been telling Alex that I'm definitely going to show because that was CJ going off on Praise. That's where we're going to start tonight. So now I just got to find it because I hit some buttons that took me to something completely different. Damn it. Yeah, see, that's Smokey last night. I want Smokey. I want Praise and CJ like a year ago.
Oh yeah, a year
My
ago.
daughter,
Yeah,
of course, my daughter has been watching
but not
shit on my
recently.
account. So
Rage, are you totally daft? CJ wouldn't do that now. He gets support from SFT. If CJ attacked Praise, even for false teaching, which he should do, he wouldn't get any debates on Stanking for Truth channel. No amount of butt sucking would get him on there then, if he upset Praise, because Praise would put the kibosh on it.
it's all buried in my
It's
history
old
now.
hat. It's old hat, Rage. In fact, it was probably more, well, was it more than a year ago? Oh, it could have been about a year since.
Fucking A.
True.
What the hell is it at? I just had it. Now I'm gonna have to go search for it on Praise's channel again. And that's some
CJ
bullshit.
is best friends with Praise. CJ had Ryan the Presbyterian on there. Praise had Ryan the Presbyterian on. The whole thing stinks like a setup to warm everybody up to Smokey coming back, something like that. But CJ is basically a butt sucker for standing for truth and praise I am. It's creepy.
Oh no, that was it. Yeah, that was it. It just like took me to the beginning or something. That's why I couldn't find it again. Now I just got to go back. All right. Yeah, that should work. That should work. All right. So, yeah, because I fucked that up, that kind of screwed up my whole intro. Well, let's start with a public service announcement. I think that we need to start with our public service announcement tonight.
I'm not dead, fuckers. Will Kincaid and Smokey Saint, you are horrible shitload trashed clown cunts.
Gilbert, never wrong. Yes, I was scared of your beard, tatted Jedi. How you doing, my man? Carol, the atheist, I see you there as well. Man, I forgot to message Purple today, but I don't want to start that till like next week. So I'm gonna message Purple. That'll give us like a week to set up the first one, I think, because tomorrow evening I've got plans with my daughter. So I do believe the following Tuesday I want to start what we've been talking about. How y'all doing? This is gonna be praise I am that I wish I wasn't, handing his spine to Smokey Saint.
Yeah, why are you surprised?
Now, if you guys don't remember, if you weren't around for it, I had my saga with Smokey. But Praise was kind of a part of that. Because, I had my relationship with Praise. Praise was sometimes a staunch ally of Smokey Saint, sometimes not. Flip-flopped worse than he's ever done before on anything else, before or since, in my opinion. But finally, and I did a stream. I did a stream called Praise is really, really, really late to the party. Praise took a stand. Now, he took a stand after he confronted the victim of Smokey Saint for Smokey Saint. When Satori did the stream on Thick Shades channel, Praise was in that stream relaying things that Smokey was telling him. And he made an ass of himself in that conversation. And after that conversation, he came out and he said, I believe Satori, I believe that Smokey Saint did that. And he did a stream called Smokey Saint is an Imposter. My last discussion I will ever have talking about with Smokey Saint, making the vow that he will never speak to Smokey Saint again. Why? Because Smokey Saint fucked a kid. And, you cannot forget, Praise is one of these Christians that loves to go around talking about how Christians can't have, or how atheists can't have any basis for their morality. He also loves to talk about how slavery in the Bible is cool. So he did that stream, and if my recollection is correct, if my recollection is correct, he apologized to Bill. He apologized to Thick Shades. He apologized to all of the Christians who Smokey had went at in really negative ways. Like when it came to Bill, accused Bill of killing his own daughter. When it came to Thick Shades, talking all that shit about Thick Shades for standing against Smokey Saint. Now I'm hearing that Thick Shades has doxed Praise, which is really fucked up. Thick Shades, you shouldn't be doxing people. He also apologized to me, if my recollection is correct. He included me in that. But, you know, CJ Cox, who hadn't been like Praise, had stood against Smokey pretty much since the fucking beginning. As soon as the charges came out, CJ Cox, Nicholas Whitmire, two Christians that stood against the grain and stood against that monster consistently. No wish-washy bullshit. So I want to kind of start with just a little bit of that. Now, I'm not going to show too much of this because I really want...
Well, it's easy to do all that. Really, when you're not stood next to the guy, isn't it? You know, from 400 or 500 miles away, maybe on the west coast or east coast of USA, 1,000 miles up north or whatever. Not particularly brave, I would have thought.
I want to get to what happened last night on Praise's stream, but I think that this is important because, you know...
As I said, CJ will not attack Praise at the moment because Praise has got connections with Standing for Truth. If CJ doesn't continue to butt suck Praise, CJ won't get any debates on Standing for Truth's non-classy channel. So he's got his tongue out.
I even accepted Praise's apology. I said, you know what? You're late to the party, but better late than never. But CJ Cox stood true to his conviction, even in that moment. And as many disagreements as I have with CJ, I despise his ideology. I think he's a cool dude. I think we get along, but I despise his ideology. I admire him for that.
You admire him?
So I want to start with that. I want to start with, you know, CJ Cox. Prophet, prophesying the future in a way. And then we're going to get to what happened last night, how Smokey Saint owns Praise I Am spine. But I do want to start with this just a little bit, just so you can see.
What's up, Mr. Duck?
Let's get to
but you're
CJ.
Yeah, I know. That was ironic. But there's CJ. Can you explain what you're talking about, CJ? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you're literally a joke. You are an absolute fraud. You literally 2 days ago, you're sitting up there attacking this person.
Real quick, I want to say hello to Godless Girl. How do we know that Smokey Saint is really guilty? We have him at the courthouse. We have all of his lies. It's a series of lies, but like the smoking gun, Godless Girl, was Smokey Saint showing up at the courthouse. Now, had Smokey Saint shown up himself, he could have possibly made the claim, well, that was my cousin, that was Josh, because he says the person is his cousin, a doppelganger that looks exactly like him, sounds exactly like him. You know, he might have gotten away with that, but the stupid motherfucker took Dr. Kenny Rhodes with him. That's the smoking gun of it all. So, like, if you want to know how we know he's guilty, it's because Smokey showed up at the courthouse with his best friend. No way his cousin would have shown up with Dr. Kenny Rhodes. You know, so look, that's the smoking gun. But, you know, to give you all of the information, that's an entire 2-hour stream in itself. And I have covered it all, although it you know, I have a Smokey Saint playlist, but even within that big playlist, it would be like a needle in the haystack. You probably have to go to that time period to find it, but I have covered it all. I've covered it every step of the way from the very beginning. I wasn't the first to cover it. Other Christians were, but I was definitely probably the first fucking atheist to cover it for sure. All right, let's get back into it.
because of some bullshit that Smokey has told you, and now all of a sudden, so that you can get your platform saved and get your nice 30 little viewers on here. For some reason they're buying it. What are you talking about? What platform? You got 12,000 subs, dude. Don't play stupid.
So
Don't
what?
play stupid. You're an absolute jerk. No, you know exactly what you're doing. You are sitting here
No, I'm not.
pretending
I don't
to
have
have
any
sympathy
ulterior
and
motives,
pretending to
CJ.
have a problem with the
All right, so why do I call CJ a prophet here? And I see CJ is in work or in the side chat. You know, I actually invited CJ to come in and say a few words here, but he did tell me he had to work tonight, and he'd try to check it out when he can on his phone. But this is why I call CJ a prophet, because CJ's the only one really that took this stand against Praise that night and told him that he was not being genuine, that he did this just because he thought it was going to help his channel. He thought he was probably backed into a corner, that the evidence was finally too much to deny, having just spoken to Smokey Saint's victim, having come to her with the lies Smokey was feeding him, having her just reject that. When Praise came with the bullshit that her parents had condoned the relationship, she rejected it summarily. It was what I thought was a true turning point for Praise I Am. But CJ saw through it. CJ saw that Praise was not being real. And why do I call him a prophet? Because, in the first interaction sense, if that was real, well, you would think that he would bring it the fuck up. But Praise doesn't have a spine.
the
No
stuff that
way.
Andy was said, the
That
stuff that was
is-
said to Andy, pretending to have a problem with the stuff that was said to SFT. You're pretending to have a problem with the stuff that was
That
said to Phil
is-
because you've been
that is
exposed as a
weak.
fraud
That is
for
weak.
supporting a pedophile and serial abuser. I'm not letting you get away with it. You're a joke, dude.
It's-
And just for context, so you guys know, the pictures in the top, it would probably be your right hand. It's your right hand because it's my right hand, right? Right hand's corner. On the left, you have Smokey Saint in the 6 seconds that he revealed his face on his channel, having shaved cleanly, taken off his glasses. If you actually zoom in close enough, you can see the indent because he just took off his glasses on his nose, of his glasses on his nose. On the right, you have the mugshot of Josh Herbel.
It's weak.
You're an
It's
absolute
weak.
joke. You're pathetic. You're like 40 years
That
old.
is so weak. I'm protecting. I don't even come on YouTube that much anymore. Like, look at the distances between each stream I have now. It's like once every week.
That's such a large distance. Oh my goodness.
Well, let's see.
All right, so just a taste of CJ there. I'm probably gonna smoke. I'm smoking. I'm probably gonna show some more of that later, because it's just so epic, and I don't think I ever actually covered that part on my channel. It's just so fucking epic. But I want to get into the gist, right? Like, we're talking about Praise the Spine here, and that's the gist of this stream. So we're gonna get into that, and I might come back to this periodically. I might come back to this at the end, but I definitely want to show more because CJ gets into that ass, and I admire CJ to fuck for that. CJ has stood by his guns when it came to this issue from the first minute. I assumed at some point he would flip, and he never did. CJ should get fucking mad kudos for that. But we're going to get into what happened last night. So, like I said, this could very well be Smokey Saint's, revenge tour. He hits me when I'm on the John spot late into that stream. He hits Praise last night. I should take it as a compliment that I was first. But, I mean, that should be common sense, seeing it as the extensive battle we waged on this platform. Not to mention that outside of Thick Shades, I was pretty fucking instrumental in his undoing. So I don't blame him. Though if anybody was going to be first, it probably should have been Thick Shades, but I was first. So I'll take it. So this happened last night. But before we get into that, I have a rare image of Smokey Saint taking Praise's spine. Let's check it out. That was Smokey Saint last night taking Praise's spine, and now he owns it. You know, I thought, and you're going to get a little bit, you're going to get some animosity at first, right? People talking over each other, yelling at each other, calling each other names. But, you know, I really thought that Praise, if ever confronted by Smokey, would have the gumption, would have the nerve to bring it up. You know, I wasn't afraid of it. Took me a few minutes because I was so shocked, but went right into it. You know, I don't fuck kids. You know, I gave him a chance to come on my channel, cameras on, prove to me that you didn't fuck the kid, that you're not Josh. All the evidence says you are. All you have to do, turn your camera on. Come on, talk to me. You know, like the big fuck you would be turn on your camera with your cousin Josh, your doppelganger that looks like you, sounds like you, lives in the same area of California. You know, have him on with you. Just, he doesn't have to say nothing. Maybe that's against his probation. You know, act like it's an accident. But that would be like the biggest fuck you to everybody. But it's never going to happen. He won't even show his own fucking face. Outside of that little 6 seconds that we got in that little picture that I'm showing right there. All right, so could be revenge tour, could be Smokey Saint is back. And I had this revelation yesterday because, you know, like we had a fucking battle. And if the battle had just been YouTube battle, it would have been bad enough. It was dirty enough. Had it just stayed a YouTube battle, it would have been fucking bad enough. But Praise and Will went super personal. They attacked my child. They attacked my family members. They attacked me. They attacked weight that I've gained. They attacked the problems that I have, my health problems, the problems in my leg. They attacked me for being Native American. They get racist to me. Put my daughter's image all over the internet. Accused me of raping my daughter without any evidence at all. Started doing it before we ever found out about Smokey Saint's charges. So I think that, you know, there might have been an element of self-guilt there, considering that Smokey knows he had actually fucked children. You know, and I wasn't the only one. Speed, he did that to his kids. Anybody that disagreed with him, well, it was possible he was going to attack your children and accuse you of fucking them, of raping them. Put my Facebook page, all of that, you know, was really bad. And since he came back and he surprised me, I was feeling some kind of way, but I came to this realization this morning. He's a convicted child predator. He doesn't matter. Nothing he says about me, for one, could be worse than what he said before. But for two, it doesn't matter. Why? Because he's a convicted child predator. All this goes to show is all of these Christians that like to look at us atheists and talk about, you know, the basis of our morality and how we can have none. Well, this shows just how degraded their morality is. Again, Praise, if you have any gumption in what we're about to watch, you will confront Smokey Saint for fucking a kid that you personally talked to. I didn't talk to her. I haven't ever talked to Satori, which was the name she used when she did the interview on Thick Shades channel. Praise did. And as you can tell by the title of the stream, Praise has no gumption. He has no fucking spine. He has no fucking backbone. He's weak-willed, and yes, he is a coward. Spoiler alert, Praise sucks Smokey's ass. So desperate for Smokey's validation again, approval. Refuses to defend his own sister. And I just have to ask Praise, what kind of man are you? What kind of man are you? Let's get into it.
To Will, I'm going to offer a challenge. And you can voice this to Smokey, because I don't know if he's back or not. But I want to challenge him to a soteriology discussion. It can be, I mean, I'd like to have it on my channel or my platform, but that's okay. You don't have to have it. You can have it on his too. It doesn't matter. And I want him to defend his soteriology that you can lose your salvation. And I bet you I would slap him all around that debate. But it's up to you, Will. It's that's the challenge extended. So go ahead.
I have a question for
so
Paul.
there he is. There he is.
I'm so overjoyed.
All right, so now Smokey had actually been in the room for several minutes, and while the name was Smokey Saint, I don't think people actually thought it was him because it was like, I don't even know what it was. It kind of looked like he had his camera on, but he wasn't showing his face. Don't get excited. He was showing like a campfire that you could barely see. I don't even know what it was. It kind of looked like maybe it was a campfire, like he was outside. So for like several minutes, he's just there showing a fucking campfire, not saying a fucking word. You got the name Smokey Saint, but people copy shit. People will troll all the fucking time. So here he finally announces himself, as Praise is talking shit. Now, if you didn't catch it, Praise is talking shit right there. Let's go back a little bit. Praise is talking shit right there. And then Smokey says something.
Challenge him to a soteriology discussion. It can be, I'd like to have it on my channel or my platform, but that's okay. You won't have to have it. You can have it on his too. It doesn't matter. And I want him to defend his soteriology that you can lose your salvation. And I bet you I would slap him all around that debate. But it's up to you, Will. It's that's the challenge extended.
Wait a minute, Praise. Why do you want to have a debate with a child molester? Right? You said you believe Satori. You said you would never speak to Smokey Saint again, and I totally agree. Like he sabotaged me, but nobody should talk to Smokey Saint unless he's on camera. Nobody. But Praise, why do you want to have a debate about soteriology or whatever the fuck? Can't even say it right. Why do you want to have a debate on that? The only debate you should have with Smokey Saint is, why did you fuck a kid? Prove you didn't fuck a kid. Here's your chance. Here's your debate. Give us this exonerating evidence that you claim to have that you didn't fuck a kid. Because, and you're going to hear it, Smokey claims that there's evidence out there that exonerates him. Now, he can exonerate himself. All he's got to do is turn his fucking camera on. That's all he's got to do. But he claims there's evidence out there, and people are not showing it. Now, I get my hands on just about everything at this point. And Jay broke it down how I got involved very accurately in history, right? I was sent some information. Jay asked me to hold off onto it until the Christians started talking about it first. And probably would have, and even mentioned that he would have wished I would have held off a little longer, but I held off for a few days. I let Thick Shades come out first. I let Ryan the Presbyterian, a couple others. I think, what's his name? Bible Fight Club, dude. I can't remember his fucking name. We get into it almost all the time. But Bruce, he's not a bad dude, but we get into it over politics. I think he was starting to talk about it. Maybe Bill. There was a few Christians, and then I released the information that I had, which was essentially that a name that Smokey Saint has been linked to was charged with some form of sexual misconduct against a minor. I didn't have very much information at the time, but the information that I had, I felt was pretty legit. Now, I admit, and I've admitted several times since then, I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun before I personally knew. Like, I don't really give a fuck what anybody else thinks. It's about what I think. And there was still a point when I first came out with it that I had a little bit of a doubt if this person was Smokey Saint or not. Smokey, just with his very style, makes enemies, right? Just the way he approaches people makes not just YouTube enemies, but real fucking enemies. You start attacking people's personal lives and their family, you make real fucking enemies. I told Will Kincaid and I told Smokey, if they ever step their foot in this town, I go to jail with a smile on my face that day because I'm fucking them up. It's to that point. It's physical. They show up here, I fuck them up, I go to jail for assault, and I smile about it. I feel pretty fucking good. I feel pretty good that night. Now, maybe the next day I wake up and like, fuck, I'm in jail. Wish I wouldn't have done that. But that night, I feel pretty fucking good. And I would fuck both of them up at the same time. Like, I would hope it would be at the same time. 2 against 1. Make it a little fair. Because my fat ass gonna beat their ass. But that's just truth. That's not me saying shit. Because they took it to that level. They attacked my child. They accused me of doing nasty, disgusting things to my kid. The person I love more than anybody. The person I love so much, I gave her my name. I'm Ronnie Tate II. She's Ronnie Tate. I don't have to hide that anymore because all that's out now. But, you know, I think I was the one to originally say that maybe. No, I wouldn't. I used to call her Little Nakasuchi. That was Smokey. After Smokey started doing it, I embraced it because I had to. It's my name. He had the goods. So, you know, when I first got the information, there was that possibility. But it didn't take me long. Now, I came to my conclusion that Smokey was Josh well before a lot of other atheists did. But to me, it was apparent. The lies about the Jesse Lee Peterson video, that's him. Jay from Cali was him. He admitted it was him until he needed not to admit that it was him. You just all the lies, all that shit. You guys know all that shit. Let's get into it. I've been rambling long enough.
So go ahead.
I have a question.
I'm so
There
very
he
glad.
is. There he
I'm
is.
so
How am I supposed to have
overjoyed. Excuse me, Justin. I'm so overjoyed to see that you have vacillated and gone back to OSAS and Free Grace Praise. It's beautiful. I love it.
I'm not free grace. I'm Reformed theology. You should know that.
Oh, now you're Calvinist. Okay.
No, I'm
Great.
Reformed.
Yeah, well, you're just all over the place, aren't you? Well, I just came in for a minute.
Well, any of it is better
I
than
just
your
came in for a minute to
Arminianism,
say
salvation
bravo.
garbage, Smokey saying.
Real quick, yes, Thick Shades had people in the courtroom. We have pictures of Smokey Saint and Dr. Kenny there in the courtroom. Without a doubt, they try to say those pictures were from the Ark Encounter, but we have a picture of the court screen and the court docket, you know, like in the picture. So, yeah, that goes out the window. And yes, and there was an interview with the victim.
I just came in for a minute. Thanks for over talking me, SFT. Glad to see you still got all that brilliant self-control. Just wanted to come in and say bravo.
I learned from the best.
But there it is again. There it is again. There's that big sophisticated arguer right there.
I learned from the best, the most unsophisticated man himself. Oh, by the way, Smokey, with all this time away, have you learned some basic science and soteriology there?
Yeah, especially after I spanked you on your favorite argument.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Why'd you take the video down? Why'd you take the video
why
down
didn't you
then,
post it? Why didn't you re-upload it for the 2 weeks it was up? It seems like you were ashamed of it.
Sloppy Saint.
I'll tell you what,
Sloppy Saint, you know, if I didn't come up with Icky Taint, I would have totally stolen SFT's Sloppy Saint. But Icky Taint is better. Icky Taint is better. Come on, it's better. But Sloppy Saint is good. I'm gonna give it to SFT. So there's a lot of venom here, right? Praise eventually turned on Smokey for good. Smokey already hated SFT because, you know, OSAS and Young Earth creationism. You know, like Smokey Saint's an old Earth creationist or some shit like that. But, you know, SFT is just, you know, he's a goddamn heretic. So Ronan is actually team Smokey, always has been. We're going to be dealing with some of the crazy shit Ronan's going to say later.
If I get it posted up on the channel, will you upload it on yours without commentary?
Well, the reason I didn't upload it on my channel is because I
don't slap and run.
Why is Raging Atheist bigging CJ Cox up? Another creepy situation. CJ wasn't at the center of supposedly exposing Smokey at all. He came in like towards the end. CJ's a creep. As I said earlier, he butt-sucked praise now. He may have given him a sort of telling off a year ago. That didn't last long, did it? Now he's Fraser's favourite, and he's in Standing for Truth's good books. So CJ can get his garbage debates on there. So he can get some kudos, a bit of gravitas. You know. But there you go, that's life. That's I've got. I mean, CJ's a likeable guy, but that's about it. He's a Calvinist. Why would I don't look up to anybody anyway, really. I'm going to leave it at that. I've heard all this before today. Had enough already. I've got other things I want to do, so I'll leave it there.